Hey, what's up guys? I've been doing knife reviews. Reviewed this little boot knife, which is awesome. Reviewed this folder, which is not awesome. But anyway, all this stuff came from BudK. I do also have a lockpick set I'm going to be reviewing and a throwing knife set, which I'm going to be reviewing. Don't know when. Use a throwing knife set a lot. Use the lockpick set a little bit. Want to get more use on that before I review it. But you'll see those reviews in the future. Point being, they all came from this catalog. This is an oldie but goodie, and they're still around. BudK. Most of you guys out there and ladies who have been to knives for a while, I'm sure at some point in your life you come across this catalog. And I grew up with this. This is the first source of knives for me. Jeff Smith, cutlerylover. This is where it started. This is the roots of my blade obsession. Okay, because it's a sickness. I got the steel bug, and I don't want to be cured. But there's a lot of cheap crap in here. You know, straight up, there's a lot of junk, complete junk. But almost everything in here is pretty darn cool looking. So if you're someone who's all about functionality, you don't care what something looks like, and you're just like, I need my stuff to work, there's very very random things in here that are good to work for you. But this is the point of this video. I'm going to kind of go over some experiences with some different things and say, yeah, you know what, stay away from this, or hey, check that out. So anyway, it's just kind of a walkthrough. It's not going to be real detailed or anything. I'm just going to flip through. I'm normally going to look at it. I haven't really looked through this one just to get these items to show you. But I'll just go look at the catalog with you and just speak my mind as we go. Unfortunately, I know there's a lot of people overseas. I don't believe BudK ships overseas at all. This is a US type thing. So, you know, if you guys are overseas somewhere outside the US, I know you could be kind of bummed because there are some cool things in here. But it's just, it is what it is, you know? So, right on the front cover, we got some cool stuff here. Got a, looks like a paintball mask, skeleton thing. That's nothing new. $20 gas mask. So all types of different gas masks, a lot of different sources for them. That's nothing really special. A couple other oddballs we'll see inside. So, one thing I could say is that like 95% of the stuff, 95% of the knives and or edged tools in this entire catalog is on the soft side. Okay, there's almost nothing that BudK offers that's going to hold a great edge. So just right off the bat, like I said, you people who just use their things, may not be for you. A lot of this is cool looking and it's fun to play around with and stuff, but it's not great performing stuff. Occasionally you'll get something that's adequate, like this, sport an AUS 6 blade. It's okay. It's not like amazing, but it's not crap. Most of the stuff in here is, you know, crappy steel. So just beware of that. Any knife you get, don't expect, you know, for it to cut through a bunch of crap forever. You will need to sharpen your knives. So if you're going to be a BudK fan, you're going to also need to be a fan of a sharpening stone or a good sharpening system. So let's get that on the table right away. Stuff like this, total junk. Looks nice, 10 bucks, it's junk. I've had many knives just like that, if not that exact same one. Things like their tomahawks, they're cool. Let me tell you something, if you're looking for a cheap home defense weapon, something like this in your closet for 40 bucks, that'll do you almost as good as a gun in close quarters. That thing will definitely rip someone open, and even in the hands might be intimidating enough to get that person out of your house without any force needed. But, you know, a lot of stuff does look cool. Some of it's kind of weird. I mean, like this is neat. This is a, basically it's an all plastic comb with a hidden knife, and it's one of those like 3D type, I forget, not 3D, I don't know what the style is of blade, but it's like cylindrical. It's not flat. It's not a flat blade. It actually has like 4 sides. And I think that's you know what? You know, I can compare it to is a Mosin Nagant bayonet. That's exactly what that's like. Why would you need that? I don't know. It's really cool, but I can almost guarantee if you were to use that on someone, I don't care if they just broke into your home and like stabbed you in the face. You stabbed them with this, and like you go to court and they're gonna say, why do you have a knife hidden in a comb? What's your intentions there, Mr. Terrorist? It's bad news. Stuff like this is a total novelty. I would never ever want to use anything with a hidden blade for defense ever, because it will automatically make you look like an idiot. And to, you know, not to me, not to all the people on YouTube, but to the jury, which is a jury of your peers. And if you ever took a walk down the street or got in line in traffic somewhere, you know there's a lot of idiots around us. So keep that in mind. The sheeple will not like this. Very cool idea. You might think it's awesome. I'll get it for my girlfriend. She'll keep it in her purse. She can defend herself. Don't bother. Get something that looks normal, because if she does have to use it, I'm telling you, you don't want any problems in the courts. Moving on. Stuff like this cracks me up. There's a lot of fantasy stuff out there. I mean, if you think that looks cool, hey, for 20 bucks, makes you happy, who am I to judge, right? This mask, I used to have one. I didn't personally have one of these, but my friend had one of these, and it is extremely warm and extremely creepy looking. All right, so if you're walking down the street at night with this mask, with a hoodie, prepare to have some flashing lights behind you very soon. But it does work. It is very, very warm. I believe that's German military, like surplus stuff. It may be a reproduction of that. There you go. All you paracord lovers, 2,100 feet of it. I'm sure you can make a few bracelets with that. Maybe a couple of backpacks, maybe a drawbridge for a ravine. It's a lot of paracord. Yeah, I always compare prices too. There's so many sources for paracord now. Even the bracelets, you see them everywhere. Yeah, there's a Tex Grebner hat right there, $39.99. Let's see, from Phrase of Fading. Each hat is one of a kind. These recycled tarp hats hint at a story of their prior life lived as a truck tarp. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. Yeah, it's a Tex Grebner recycled hat. Pretty sweet. By the way, I have to think of Tex Grebner with this, because we joke around all the time how we grew up with this crap. And we had so much crap, just garbage, before we ever even knew what a good knife was. And he's right there with me. One of the old school buddies that just knows they get BudK. When you say BudK, you just have to smirk. Anyway, stay away from the boots. I've had their military type boots before. They're very uncomfortable. They look cool, the price is right, but it's type of personal experience, not so good. And it's an average price for paracord bracelets, 10 bucks. So many people make them. There's so many tutorials online to make them. No reason to buy them unless you're just really lazy or you want to get someone a present. But if that's the case, then so be it. More gas masks, 30 bucks. Carbide sharpener, please stay away from these. All carbide sharpeners. I mean, they have ceramic stones in there too, just don't use the carbide part. Totally rips up your stuff. More creepy masks that do actually work and keep your face warm. More junky knives. Fantasy stuff. Let's see, we got some AK, what are those? Yeah, airsoft rifles. I don't know if those are semi-automatic or not. I don't honestly care enough to read the rest of it. That's cool. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan. Hobbit walking stick or staff. I tried using a staff once, walking in the woods, and it was more of a pain than it was helpful, to be honest. It kept getting stuck in the ground and just something to carry. I don't know. Throwing knives. All right, something I can mention on throwing knife sets. There's really not a bad set. Keep in mind what you're doing with the throwing knife. The steel type, you know, is it sharp or not? It doesn't really matter at all. As long as it has a pointy tip, that's all you need. All right, and trust me, if you're practicing knife throwing and you're not already professional, none of it's gonna make a difference, because you're going to hit the tree. Sometimes it's gonna stick and you're gonna feel like Mr. Awesome. And most of the time it's gonna go ping, ding, dong, and it's gonna make all kinds of noises and flop all over the place, and it's gonna be embarrassing if your neighbors are watching. And it's very uncool most of the time. Just every now and then you get one to stick perfectly and you're like, yes, sweet. But honestly, it doesn't matter what kind of things you're throwing. Get normal things like this. Balance is an issue depending on what throwing style you're using. If you're throwing, you know, holding the handle, it's a little different than throwing holding the blade. Of course, the distance from the tree, rotation pattern, stuff like that will make a difference. But for the most part, just get something that looks normal. There's a lot of fantasy type throwing knives out there, and it doesn't add anything to your experience unless you just think they're cooler looking. Right. There's an interesting little shift knob thing. My grandfather had one of these called the suicide knob. Put it on his, he had a Jeep Wrangler. And it's one of the things I used to always like about it. I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's called the suicide knob. I'm like, what's that for? Like turn the wheel real fast? I'm like, oh, I get it. So if you're going 100 miles an hour and you whip the wheel around, I guess you're gonna flip your car. It's nice. It's pretty comfortable. It pivots around, so you don't have to hold the wheel part with your hand. You're basically just holding the knob, and it just, I don't know. I did drive once or twice with it, and it was cool. I don't know. I just like it because it's gun related. Okay, here's another one of those cheap karambits. When I did the other review on the Tiger karambit, I mentioned this one. I wanted to show you the picture of it. $13.99. It's pretty cool. The sheath is horrible. Trust me, because I've had knives using that exact same sheath. It's not good. Some interesting things here and there. A lot of it I'm not interested in. It looks cool. I like looking through the catalog when I'm taking a dump. Not that you needed to know that, but that's mostly what this is bathroom material. Always got to keep a magazine in the bathroom to read, and plus you have to run out of toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? More crap. I don't know why. Every now and then, BudK does it, Smoky Mountain Knife Works does it. They sell stuff with swastikas on it and Nazi symbolism. And, you know, they sell it to be historical. They always do. But you know that there's people out there buying this crap because they think it's cool. And, like, they're secretively racist. And they're, like, sitting in their home and with their friends and go, yeah, man, this is so cool. But, like, they're too afraid to ever express that in public. I say if you're racist, wear it proudly, so when you go down the street, someone can kick the crap out of you. If you're going to be like a closet racist, you're just not thinking it through all the way. So it's dumb. I don't know why people think stuff like that's cool. If you do collect it because it's historical, don't get a fake $13 knife because it has a swastika on it and think it's awesome. This is a piece of crap knife. You know, buy something historical. Buy a real World War II knife. Save up your money. I've had this and other versions of this. I had the two small ones too. They're total junk. Don't waste your money on that. Looks cool and everything, but it's junk. It's horrible. The sheath is horrible. Batons, I don't know, you can't really go wrong. How often are you actually going to use the thing? If you do use it, you'll get a use out of it, and it'll probably be functional for you then, but I don't think it's a big deal to get a cheap baton. You don't have to spend the extra money on an asp, unless you're maybe a cop or something. We got random things in here, like arrowheads and weird coins and stuff. Helicopter toy. The razors, I've gotten their straight razors before. They're not worth it either. Something like that, I mean, you're shaving your face. You need a super, super sharp razor. Spend the 50 or 60 bucks, get a DeVoe. That's basically the baseline for good razors. That's what I have, I love it. Yes, there's more expensive ones I'd love to have too, but they work because the steel quality is good. Unless, of course, you're not using them to really shave, you just want a collection, then it doesn't make a difference. But if you are gonna shave with it, don't go cheap on a razor like this because you're gonna rip the hair out of your face and it's going to hurt a lot. And you're gonna look dumb with a bunch of little red spots and razor burn. Of course, they have brass knuckles, beat down paperwork. Yeah, they always call them paperweights. I used to use these in high school, those stink bombs. They were a lot of the fun. Caltrops. I mentioned these before, I showed them before in a video. These things are awesome. I actually keep mine from 6th grade. I have the same set because I never use them for anything. They are in my glove compartment in my Monte Carlo right now. Just in case for that one rare, strange thing, legal or not, where I really need to get someone off my butt, just chuck them out the window, see what happens. I don't recommend doing that. Oh, more I'm cool, I have a Nazi knife crap. These are neat. My friend Harry is selling these right now, and I just bought one. I got one from him. He gave it to me as a gift. I was good to buy it. Okay, battery's dead. I just got one of these for my friend Laura. They're really, really cool. Basically, it's just a self-defense thing, but of course they look cool because they look like a little cat, and they're kind of inconspicuous. I got one from my friend Harry, and I might do videos in the future if everyone's cool with it. I do have a prepping club that I go to. Haven't gone to it in a long time. It used to be like a gun club where a bunch of like-minded people got together, talked about guns when shooting. Now it's kind of like guns, knives, gear, prepping, food, emergency stuff. It's everything, and I know you guys would be interested in it. I'm just not sure if the whole group together would be interested in being on film. But if I can work that out in the future, we will. All kinds of belt buckles, more paracord up here. Again, always look at your prices. eBay's a good source, Amazon's a good source for paracord. Some of the military surplus stores are great for paracord, although if you go to local ones like brick and mortar places, sometimes they rip you on the price, so just shop around. I've had this knife, and although it doesn't hold an edge, I still have that knife. It's a great beater knife. You can't kill it. For $9.99, it's a pretty cool one to have. I don't know, I never went diving. I just used it as a cheap throwing knife. Here's some more. Of course, the zombies are still very popular. So you got some zombie knife throwing set for 30 bucks. It's pretty cool. You can have some fun with them. P38s. Can't go wrong with that. $3. Good Lord. Go to your surplus stores. You get those things for 40 cents, if not cheaper. More crappy knives. Actually, this pen's not too bad. The UZ pen. This specific one happens to have a handcuff key built in, which is really interesting. I never saw that exact setup. It's pretty neat. More crap. There's a cheap karambit. For self-defense, it doesn't matter what the blade steel is. It'll work for you. But again, keep in mind, I'm a little, what's the word? It's a little conflicting. I can't think of the word. What's it called? When you're contradictory. Yes. It's contradictory because I say that, you know, balisongs do make good self-defense knives if used properly. Karambits are great self-defense knives if used properly. But at the same time, I tell you, don't use something scary looking because your idiot jury of your peers will think that you're a criminal for having something like that. So I know I kind of contradict myself. Oh man, that is awesome. Keep that under your bed. Can you imagine if you broke into someone's home? Not that you're a criminal, but imagine someone breaks into your home and you just pull that out of the closet or that from underneath the bed. They will crap their pants. They're going to think that you're completely insane and they're probably going to leave. Or they'll just shoot you dead right there. So you're taking your chances. Get a gun. Probably a little bit off. Crap. Like, look at this thing. What are you going to do with this? The idea seems cool. It's like it's a sword made of little razor blade type dealios. Honestly, I'd rather someone attack me with this than with like, you know, a folding knife. Because at least with something like this, I know that they're not that sharp to begin with. And second of all, by the time they get the thing to whip around, I could probably grab it or block it with your forearm. I mean, these things are not sharp at all. More brass knuckles. These have kind of a point on it, which is cool. Some cheap machetes, $7. Can't go wrong with that. Put your own edge on them. Good to go. It's kind of cool. Little pistol flask. So they got all kinds of oddball things here and there. Oh, I want to try this. This is the larger version, basically, of that boot knife that I got. I don't want this specific setup, the secret agent type setup, but I do want to try this larger version as a boot knife in the winter when I actually have a tall boot that will support that length. But interesting. 15 bucks, can't go wrong. People ask me all the time how to store their knives. BudK, more specifically, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, I get a lot of my knife cases. The small ones are awesome, but here's another option for $13. It's a knife roll. I don't particularly like knife rolls. I'd rather the binder type where it opens like a book and then you just have two sides. But they're all very affordable. More junk. That's another thing. Break that out. Break this out at the Crab Shack. You go out to dinner and you have a seafood thing where they spread all the crap on the table. Just take that out of your backpack. Start whacking the crab legs. You can have a good laugh after they kick you out. Awesome. Reviewed that. What do you do with this thing? By the way, if you like that comb idea, here's an actual steel one instead of all ABS plastic. Remember these? You guys watch my videos for a long time. Remember when I reviewed these when these first came out? These little compact pill towelettes or towels. These things are awesome. And for $2, you get a 12 pack. Definitely, if you're ever ordering anything BudK, you have to stock up on these. They're awesome for emergency preps. They're awesome just to have on you. If nothing else at all, you know, keep one in your pocket. If you happen to have a bob or something, you know, it's great to load up a bunch of them, but just keep one in your pocket. You never know when you're gonna need a towel. Those things are really cool. Of course, you do need water to open them up. And boom, boom, boom. You know, I like some Gil Hibben designs, but I don't ever want one of his knives. I know it seems like stupid to say, but like some of his designs are really cool like that. It's not too fantasy. And if they made that in a really high quality blade steel, you know, and for an affordable price, it'd be tempting to pick up. He does have some cool designs. Blowguns, you can get cheap blowguns, they still work. Might do a story time video one time on when I had a blowgun dart go through my butt cheek and then my foot. Some of my friends were screwing around. Actually, I was playing around and I shot my friend in the shoulder pretty, like it went in like a half an inch, my friend Jesse, growing up. And it was a complete accident, but I'm like, I felt so bad. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. And he was really like freaking out. I'm like, all right, fine, you could shoot me, just don't shoot it too hard. And he shot it into my foot and it went through my shoe and into my big toe, like, you know, through the nail, and just it only went in maybe like an eighth of an inch. But let me tell you, that was painful. And then he said he missed, and I took my shoe off, showing my bloody toe. I'm like, of course you didn't miss. And then he was being a wuss, and he kept saying how much his shoulders hurt. I'm like, fine, you can shoot me again. And I turned around, and before he even gave me a chance, he shot me right in the left butt cheek. And that also hurt, but not as bad as the toe. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, crap. Oh, I want to show you this. Talk much, Jeff? I talk too much, that's the problem. Remember when I showed the review of the Karambit? This is the zombie version with the neon green handle, which is very cool with the black. So I did want to show that. But 37 bucks. I don't know, you'd have to really like it. 37 bucks to get that coloration. More stuff, nothing really worth talking about. Straps. Get yourself a strap. BudK is another source for them. There's very few out there that are just not good. They all work, okay? But something like this would be fantastic for $34. I'd always recommend, given the option, get a longer strap than a shorter strap. You might not think you need it much, but I'm telling you, the length will definitely make a difference. All right. Some people think that you know, you need something really long. You don't, but it certainly works a little bit better. Well, it's girthy. What else we got here? That's cool. See, another Gilhibben. What do you know? It's an awesome looking knife. If it had a great blade steel, I'd probably want to own it really badly because it's cool looking. And that's it. Here's another thing to keep under your bed for self-defense. Although, how do you explain that? Well, you know what? Sometimes you don't have to explain yourself. Why do you have that, sir? Well, you know what? I want it. That's my answer. And if someone broke into my house and I smacked them in the face with it and they happen to die, so be it. That's life, right? Shouldn't have been in my house. So that's it. That's my very awkward, strange review. It's not a review. It's a video of the catalog. Just want to go through it. They got some cool stuff. And, you know, there's a bunch more on their website as well. But unfortunately, for anyone overseas who loves this stuff, my deepest apologies to you for being in a situation where you watch YouTube videos and you can't get anything you see. It stinks. You may be completely loaded and rich, but you just don't have the accessibility. In most cases, you're not loaded. In most cases, you don't have much money to begin with. And then when you do get something that you want, you're paying 3 or 4 times as much for it. And for that, I feel sorry for you, but at the same time, I don't feel that bad because your chocolate is better than anything in America. So I would say that's an even trade. Just my opinion. Anyway, that's all. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.